Goes a long way.
What event are you most excited to put your talents on full display?
Definitely my 40, man. Definitely my 40. I know what I could do. I could run routes. I could do everything. I'm just focusing on my 40, man. That's all.
What's the difference between the third and first round, dog? Like this, sadly, the NFL Combine has come to an end. That means there's not just a little itty bitty bit of football that we had, but that does mean we can spend a bunch of time giving opinions that don't really matter. So here's my opinion that does not matter about the top winners in this here 2025 NFL Combine. I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought mostly interesting because of the people who didn't perform and do drills. It really opened the doors to some certain players and a good bit of money. So we're going to listen to a top four that I selected. One of them, mass bias, but he also had a great day, Mathew Golden. Then we have Nick Emmanwori. I don't know how to, Emmanwori. I'm talking about Nick. The big bad safety out of South Carolina, Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M, and DJ Giddens out of Kansas State. And I think my Colorado fans that watch this show are very familiar with DJ Giddens, man. I really appreciate the support on these Combine videos, man. Understand that I am a college football news update stories type of guy. I just be yapping about different things and hopefully aggregating a few bits of useful information for you as well to make up your opinions as well. So thank you for listening to my needless opinion. I appreciate the support. Like the video if you do like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you want to see more, because we got transfer portal coming up. NIL's going crazy. There's a lot of different rulings and things. If you want to stay locked in, you know what to do. Hit the bell icon. But let's start with Mathew Golden, the top 40 time, not top 40 time at everybody. DB run at faster 40 time, but the top wide receiver time in the 40. Mr. Mathew Golden, who's just rising up draft stocks. Hear from him first, then we'll go to Nick, then we'll go to Shamar. We'll have some different things playing in the background, and after that, I'll give you some of my takes, man. Let's hop right into it.
You mentioned Proverbs 3:5 when you declared for the draft, and you mentioned God multiple times. How important is your faith throughout this combine experience? Have you been praying?
God's changed my life, man. And whenever I get a chance to go back home, I go to church and I play the drums for my church. That's something I did when I was a younger kid, so I still try to do that. But going through adversity, you always got to lean on someone, and I feel like God has always been there for me through hard times and good times. So, just having that relationship with Him and just staying consistent, I feel like that's a big key to my success. That's a good question. I feel like all of us, we put in the work. So for us to be underrated, that's somebody else's opinion. I feel like we're all confident in each other. We know what we can do on the field. So just having that confidence in yourself, and not letting that affect you, man.
Someone else told me, how's that you guys been supporting each other throughout this experience?
Say it again.
How has your team supported each other throughout this experience, since you guys have such a massive amount of players here at the Combine?
Just buying into the culture. We have a great culture at Texas, and it's a real brotherhood there. We rely on each other. Feel like we have a good relationship on and off the field, and that's what allowed us to compete at a high level through the playoffs. Through the whole season, and just talking to each other, about the things that we want to do, in life. So just having a brother like that, that you can rely on and talk to about anything, it goes a long way.
What event are you most excited to put your talents on full display?
Definitely my 40, man. Definitely my 40. I know what I could do. I could run routes. I could do everything. I'm just focusing on my 40, man. That's all I want.
Man, some of the transfer from Houston to Texas and earning the respect of your teammates and ultimately a role really quickly.
Yeah. Houston started me off, man. That's where I started. So staying there for 2 years, being in that type of offense and then transitioning to Texas to a pro-style offense, it's different. It's a lot of different concepts. It's a lot of different details in the run game. So trying to get that playbook down and just staying consistent, getting with the interns and the coaches, trying to learn it as fast as I can, and then obviously playing fast at a high level.
Yeah, and that's great to hear from him. I think he had some really good comments, especially starting off with being able to note that, like, hey, he's still giving back to his community, right? It's not just something, hey, I just wear big crosses. No, I believe in this, and then I also give back to the community. So whether you feel about churches either way. Look, it's a football thing. That's why I said community service, because at the end of the day, he is giving back. And then the great response about, hey, what does the pro style do for you, and expanding there. That's awesome. Going over to Nick now and hearing his sentiments. This is going to start by Joy asking, showing more love to Kyle Hamilton. Like, basically, he's going to explain some DBs that he's compared to, and then at the end, what really separates himself as a defensive back.
No order. I go Kyle Hamilton, Derwin James, Grant Delpit, Javon Holland. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Antoine Winfield. That would be scary for the league, man, honestly. Me and him playing together, that's like a dream come true.
Talking about Kyle Hamilton.
He locked down one side, I locked down the other, so. No.
You're one of the bigger safeties. How do you think Cam Chancellor compares to your game?
My college coach actually coached Cam Chancellor in college, so he used to compare us a lot. I remember him telling me, like, a lot of dudes try to say he was a linebacker coming out of college and all this other type of stuff, but we had a lot of comparisons, so.
Nick, there's talk.
I have with the Seahawks. Great front office, great meeting. It was great.
Nick, there's talks of you being the fastest DB in this entire class. How do you feel about that? And are you looking forward to performing and probably living up to it?
Yeah, for sure. Heard a little bit of talks about being the fastest DB. I do think I am one of the fastest, top 3, maybe top 5 for sure.
Now, he isn't the fastest, but at 6'3", he's probably too fast to legally be running as fast as he does. We'll get to that later. Here's Shamar Stewart. I should probably be introing these. I apologize, but I'll probably put the pictures in front of it. First off, here is a South Florida native, Texas A&M defensive end, Shamar Stewart, revealing that he's a fan of the Dolphins, whom he has met with the combine growing up. And then after that, the next one you're going to hear is same Eric Williams response. Texas A&M edge rusher Shamar Stewart turns heads with his Senior Bowl performance, but had just 1.5 sacks in his final college season. So those are the 2 prompts there. Here we go.
What would it mean to you to play for the hometown team if that developed?
I mean, it means a lot. My number one goal is, for whatever team I go to, is to have more wins than I did the year before. And Miami, I feel like we haven't been winning in a very long time. So to turn the city, go back to the city and turn it up, I feel like that was a very big honor.
You said were you a fan growing up?
Of course. Jarvis Laundry all the way.
Shamar, I'm going to get your top 5. Everyone talks about how athletic you are, and then they say, well, where's the production? What's your answer to why you didn't have more production?
I say I wasn't a sack chasing warrior. I just wanted to become the best player for my team. And sometimes the sack don't show that.
Is that something you think you can work on? Like, you led the team in pressures, depending on who's charting. Like, you still affected the quarterback a lot. Is there, like, a next step in your game that you feel like can get you to be a high-side player?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely trying to get comfortable and get the quarterback, trying to run through the tackle instead of maybe trying to reach out and hinge it, for I'll say it's more individual. I say sometimes I had to play dead to rights, and sometimes I just couldn't finish or couldn't just get there in time. But also, teams was not going to sit there and pat the ball against us. We had a stacked D-line. Everybody knew better than to just sit there and pat the ball against us.
Some people need a little help in media training, but you get the point. Now, going over to DJ Giddens, a running back that Colorado fans know way too well. The first question here is, in case you missed it, DJ Giddens at the Point NFL Scouting Combine talked about how his time at K-State prepared him for the next level. Here we go.
They helped me out a lot just with discipline, being on time, different places. Really just discipline, commitment, toughness, selfish. That's just been carrying out this whole time. Brian Anderson, my running back coach, he been getting me right. But really, him, the whole staff, like, everything at K-State gonna get you right for this opportunity, though.
Man, I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? He real smart. I learned how to get in that book, study film, study my opponent, run routes, make somebody miss. I learned a lot.
DJ, do you think K-State used you as well as they could have?
I mean, I feel like we had a good record, so they was doing something right, putting me in, making me do what I had to do.
But everybody kind of wants the ball more, right?
I mean, with me, I feel like I ain't really
I went ball hungry. Whatever it was to win the game, that's really what it was. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to get the ball too much if we was going to win. So.
What did you learn from Deuce when you first got there?
Just maturity. For the most part, just football maturity.
And you're kind of a relaxed dude. How do you, when game day comes, how do you find what you need?
I find what I need. It click. I don't really got to force it. I just go throughout the day, do what I know I need to do, same routine, and once we line up, then yeah.
Appreciate you.
This might be my favorite running back. If y'all, cause it's so easy. I said this about Shador too, and I'm a yap. We got to the yap and we heard it. I was not expecting that from DJ Giddens. I don't know the way he runs. I don't know. That's a weird thing, but very laid back guy. You know, he reminds me of a little bit of Marshawn Lynch and a little bit of Ricky Williams, right? I mean, again, I'm not saying that that player. Man, y'all know I just say names because body types and builds. I'm not saying that these players. Y'all be on me in the comments. Look, I'm just the type of vibe I'm getting from is that personality. So, and my issue is, you know, back then in the NFL, and even in college football in those times, like that is not looked at in the best way, right? There's a certain negative connotation just to his tone, right? Just to the lax days ago, hey man, yeah, whatever, XYZ. I mean, if you can see his hat, I was talking about, hey man, that's so cool. Shador can come with the backwards hat. He got that hat just off in its own little, you know what I mean? Like that's a real you just chilling. That's yeah. There you go. So I like that, man, and I like that Mr. Mark Cannon or Carmen points out the truth of it, because instead of painting it as, oh, he's not media trained. Well, yeah, he's not media trained. He's been playing at Kansas State. He's a running back at Kansas State who just ran a 4.43, dog, a 4.43 40. I don't think he needs to be the most magically literate. I don't know many running backs who lead the league in media appearance, and then on top of that, like you said, humble. He wants to win. He brought up a question. He's like, hey, man, do you think, you weren't used better? And he even hit it back like, oh, well, I mean, everybody wants the ball more. And then Giddens just like, I mean, nah, we won games. What are you talking about? He said, I got the ball enough to win games, and that's all I care about. And that is what you want to hear. If you're someone who really plays football and really likes the team, hey, man, the moment's not too big for me, and I'm just here to win. I'm not here for extra carries. I'm not here to look fly. I'm not even here to look professional. I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's what it is. So I like that. I feel this motion, and we'll work back this way. Take a look at Mr. Giddens. Again, 4.43 40, and that is for a running back at 6'1". And this is his RAS score, relative athletic score, and a 9.89 out of 10 RAS score. I mean, that's not too bad. Elite in explosion, great in speed, and then good in size. Again, he's 6'002", so he's 6 foot, and then a little bit of change there. 212. I wouldn't say on the lighter side, but you know what I mean. That's not. He's not a true power back. You know what I mean? He's got enough wiggle to wiggle there. 6 foot, 215, 224, 230 carries, 1,365 yards. Man, 2024 he had 1,365 yards and 14 touchdowns. And people were asking him if he didn't get used correctly. I think he got. I think that dude was just asking the wrong thing. What are you talking about? New school record, 6.65 season rushing yards per carry, top 5 in rushing yards per carry, and this is all in Kansas State football, a career program history. Rushing yards third, fourth in receiving yards. Like he's broken some records, and then of course the combine records are not combine records, but comparative to his running back class, he's 6th in the 40-yard dash, 2nd in vertical jump with 39.5 or 39.50, broad jump at 10.10, which is the second amongst running backs. And like I said, Colorado fans, I'm sorry to point this out, but we know why, and I got to play this in slow motion because, they will come get you. You know what I'm saying? We know why he's pretty familiar. That boy was running all over the place. He was making Shiloh Sanders touch the earth. That boy was slipping and sliding. That boy was slide canceling. It's not good. It's bad for business. Good for his business, though. Very, very good for his business. And And I think he's going to make a lot of business happen. Like I said, he's a runner who just people bounce off of him, but he doesn't look like that. Like as the weight looks like, even when I was, watching some of the games or watching the Colorado games, I'm like, man, this Giddens kid, he just like he runs like a tank, but also like a majestic running back. Like there's also a speed, there's a burst, there's a twitch there too. And I think he's one of those builds that's perfect for the NFL, right? I know a lot of people don't pay a lot of attention to height when it comes to running backs. I don't think, but I think it's important. I think it's good for vision. I think it's good for being physically imposing. So that's great to see from Mr. DJ Giddens. Again, working backwards, we got Mr. Shamar Stewart. I didn't even realize this. Do y'all remember how much of a freak of nature Myles Garrett is? Look at the measurables for Shamar Stewart. For some reason, I'm like, I felt like Myles Garrett was like 6'7". Maybe it's the arms or I don't know, but Shamar Stewart compared to Myles Garrett, a perennial defensive player of the year candidate, an inch taller, 10 pounds lighter. So, there's that. Arms. Okay. So the arms are almost, the arms are substantially shorter. That's that's an inch and a quarter. Is that an inch and a quarter more? Just 2/4, 1/4? Or 2/8 is 1/4. So that's an inch and a quarter, right? Inch and a quarter, inch and an eighth more. That's a whole inch from the arms, and he's an inch shorter. So it's the arms that make him look so crazy. 10-yard split, 158, and then 162 from Myles Garrett. Broad jump, 10-11 from Shamar Stewart, and then a 10-8 from Myles Garrett. 40-inch vertical, 41-inch vertical for Myles Garrett. Edge prospect career pressure rates here. James Pearson, Abdul Carter just out here going crazy. Here you have Latu. You have Will McDonald. You have Mike Green out of what's his name? Out of Marshall. Reckon here. Where is Shamar Stewart? And Shamar Stewart is here. Shamar Stewart is down here with the Tyree Wilsons, the Donovans, the JT, the Kyle Kennard, the Michael Williams, the Landon Jackson. So this is true pass sets, right? So this is the amount of pass sets and then the overall percentage of pressure rates. This is crazy. These motherfuckers is going crazy. Anyway, shout out Will Anderson. So this ranking is still above what some people think of as the best edge rushers in the class or in the next class. You have Kyle Kennard, who is a breakout, I believe, what's it called? Not freshman, right? I forgot. He had some good days at, what's it called? At an SC, a top tier passer over there. Obviously, JT out of Ohio State. Landon Jackson, the big dog out of Arkansas. And then Jack Sawyer here, really at this midpoint there. So that's just kind of where he ranks up at those guys. And then here he is doing the actual broad jump, jumping out the gym at 10-11. Again, he weighs 267 pounds. That is a 270-pound manimal. And then if you want to see, actually, just so I don't get copyrighted, I want to show you the explosiveness, but I want to do it in the least copyright fashion way. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to the Senior Bowl and watch him absolutely give it problems. And like I said, it's explosiveness. The fact that he wants to even pull off that inside spin, I thought he was good. Now, he did get handled there. He did get handled, but again, you can see some of the explosion. You can see some of it popping out there. Here he is flexing down. A real deal athlete. He's gonna bend all the way down there, dog. Okay, can we get to the? Come on, dog. Come on. Boom, all the way down there, dog. I can't even reach that. I can't reach that far, son. I can't do that. We're gonna watch this because we have to. Here he is, just absolutely blowing people's bodies up, moving, speeds, chase down. He's going to have a hard day, and he's going to have a long day. Going backwards, Mr. Nick, I don't even know how to say his name. I don't even know how to say his last name. RAS score, a perfect RAS score, unofficial 10 out of 10. There's really not much to say about this dude. I didn't get to watch a lot of SC games. They have dogs everywhere. I was watching their pair of insane what's it called, edge rushers, Kyle Kennard and Dylan Stewart is the freshman. I'm sorry, Dylan Stewart is the freshman. And Kyle Kennard, who were absolutely just demolishing offensive linemen. But this dude apparently is not too new to South Carolina fans, obviously. 6'3" and an 8.5, 97th percentile, 220, 92nd percentile, vert 43, 98th percentile, 11.6 broad, 40-yard, 4.4, which is 94th percentile, 98th percentile for the broad. I mean, Cam Chancellor on steroids, we heard him talk. I ain't got much to say about that dude. That dude's a dog. Now, who I do want to talk about is this bad man right here. This bad man right here. 4.29. Nobody was expecting it. And this is just an ode to my Texas fan because we're at the end of the video. If y'all want a separate video, I do want to do a Quinn Ewers video. If you want a separate video, let me know on Mathew Golden. But I'm not sure if y'all are ready for that. But, man, talk about a player who just showed up when Isaiah Bond was supposed to be this big-name marquee transfer signee for us coming out of Alabama. And, you know, obviously due to injuries, it didn't plan out that way. Dog, I'm talking about Mathew Golden showed up anytime we needed it, and every time we needed it. 5'11", 191 pounds, obviously fastest 40-yard ran within this wide receiver group in the 2025 Combine. Like, what is there not to love about it? I mean, the flexibility, the eliteness at the catch point. He can catch everything. The body control, the awareness on the football field, the IQ, the hands, the soft hands. Do I have to remind you about 4th and 13? Texas, my pride was on the line. I was talking crazy to Arizona State fans, dog. But no, man, this is someone who I am so happy, and I was so surprised that he ran that fast. I knew he was a dog. I was, oh yeah, he's gonna do great. But this is the difference between the 3rd and 1st round, dog. Like, this is big. Like, oh wait, what, he can burn too? All this other stuff that we knew he could do, and he can burn. Oh, that changes everything. And I probably put a few more Milianis in his back pocket, man. This has been phenomenal. Just to kind of talk briefly here, these who I think winners of the Combine are. If there's any other type of content y'all want to see, any type of Combine content, I don't want to drag it too long. We can't be talking about the Combine forever, right? But we will have some transportal stuff coming up. We have some regular story time type college football stuff. We got a crazy story about a dude who was getting paid in high school before NIL, like back in 2009. Crazy times, dog. If y'all want to hear something like that, or if there's a type of video you want to see, an idea, or whatever, man, if there's something you want me to cover, let me know, man. I'll hop on. It's off season, man. Shout out to J. Cole. We're just having a good time. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you want to see more content, man. And you have a great day and keep being great.